Across the campus from the University of Notre Dame, I'm Tim Prister with Tim O'Malley and John Brice, and this has been a crazy big day already with a lot to come here. Notre Dame, number 9 in the country, hosting number 6 Ohio State. Guys, we've analyzed this inside and out, but it comes down to one, number, how much red will be in the stadium, but really, number 2, how will Notre Dame handle an Ohio State team that is accustomed to going anywhere and winning games? Are they ready for this moment, Tim O'Malley?
Ohio State is ready for this moment.
Yes,
Ohio State's always ready for this moment. Now, is Kyle McCord ready for the moment? I'm not sure, but I think the other 60 guys that will play in this game can help him along. We do know Sam Hartman is ready for the moment, and I think Notre Dame is ready for the moment as well. We talk about there's the national narrative, and part of it's true that Notre Dame loses these big games. It's because they're not as good as those teams. They are ready for this moment. They were ready for the moment in a few of these past losses, but they are prepared for this with Sam Hartman, his ability to spread the ball around, and a running game they believe in, led by Audric Estime. I think it will be augmented by others today. I think it needs to be augmented by Jadarian Price, Jeremiah Love, Jabron Payne at times today. And I still think that's the key to the game. If Notre Dame can run the ball, Sam Hartman is going to pass the ball very well today.
Notre Dame, JB, has played in these games before, and we knew that there was a disparity in talent. And if you look at the rankings, there's still a disparity in talent, but I think it's been narrowed considerably.
Yeah, and Marcus Freeman started helping Notre Dame narrow that gap before he ever became head coach. I mean, his impact in recruiting his first year as defensive coordinator for the Fighting Irish is already paying dividends. We'll see some of those dividends tonight on the field. So I think that's significant. I think Notre Dame has dramatically narrowed the gap. And when we look at it last year versus this year, again, I think that the teams have almost flipped scripts. You have Notre Dame with the best quarterback. You have Notre Dame with the 2 best tackles. We need to see a little bit more out of Blake Fisher, but they're still the 2 best tackles on the field tonight, whereas a year ago Ohio State had C.J. Stroud and then DeJuan Jones and Paris Johnson. All 3 of those guys aren't just in the NFL, they're starting in the NFL. And the other thing I point to is what we saw and commented on and talked about almost ad nauseum throughout preseason camp. This Notre Dame team has an edge to it, and that edge has continued to be very visible from people I've talked to over the course of this week that have been at some practices. They've seen that. This is a Notre Dame team embracing the moment, ready for the moment, and it can't get here fast enough based on the way and the intensity that they have shown on the practice field.
In addition to the disparity at quarterback, and again, when I say disparity, I'm talking about Sam Hartman being a veteran and Kyle McCord starting 3 games. Kyle McCord, as you have pointed out, is a 5-star quarterback. He's going to be a really good quarterback for Ohio State. But we have spent most of the week talking about both teams' offensive and defensive lines, and I think that Notre Dame's offensive line is going to have to make some inroads against that defensive front from Ohio State, which is always ferocious. If Notre Dame can't run the football consistently, it's going to be hard for Sam Hartman to have a consistent football game tonight.
Well, the issue I have there is if they can't run the ball consistently, I'm worried they won't be able to pass protect for Sam Hartman consistently, because in third and obvious pass, that would be my concern for Notre Dame in terms of Blake Fisher and Rocco Spindler holding up against Ohio State blitzes. Jim Knowles will bring blitzes too, just like Al Golden will. The edge rush is a problem for Ohio State. For anybody not named Joe Alt, I think is Ohio State will always have talent up front, and they will bring just as much confusion as Al Golden will. But I do want to bring it to the other side. I think Notre Dame's 3 linebackers and Thomas Harper, he's almost a 4th linebacker in this game because he's going to have to play a lot as a nickel. He's going to have to hold up against the run and the screen game, which he has shown to against lesser foes. He's been fantastic against the screen game. I think that front 7 needs to have its best day of the season, including the Caleb Williams game possibly coming up, because if that happens, Cam Hart, Benjamin Morrison, Xavier Watts, that secondary can have a good day against Ohio State, not just live through it like they did last season.
John, we talked about this in the pregame overtime. Everybody knows that Jim Knowles is a quality defensive coordinator. It's now his 2nd year at Ohio State. They're that much better. I think Al Golden's being underestimated here. It is his 2nd time through. He spent a lot of time in the NFL. I know you can speak to some of the things that you think that he might do tonight that Notre Dame's first 4 opponents have not seen.
Yeah, we know that Notre Dame has some more blitzes that it has not shown or needed to show through the first 4 weeks of the season. They've been intensely preparing for this moment, installing stuff even back into the spring and summer in anticipation of these types of games. And I think Al Golden is a really strong tactician. To your point, I do believe he was underrated a little bit last year because, again, Notre Dame held Ohio State to 21 points a year ago and didn't remotely have comparable talent for what they were doing to keep Ohio State stymied. Now, part of that was the offensive game plan, but part of that was because Al Golden, again, showed some stuff stuff against C.J. Stroud that Stroud had never seen before, that Notre Dame had not had on tape under Marcus Freeman. So I think Al Golden is very valuable in this game. I also have pointed out before, Al Golden very much would like to be a head coach again. There's no better opportunity to make a statement that he can be a head coach again than to come out and help Notre Dame be successful against Ohio State.
That's it, outside Notre Dame Stadium. Tonight in Notre Dame Stadium, it's number 9 Notre Dame against number 6 Ohio State. Join us on IrishIllustrated.com for all of our coverage, and join us for Irish Illustrated Overtime.